another question here, a little bit heavier, from a ski. Can you be a reptilian and not consciously know it? And what would make someone so interesting to polarity beings? Okay, interesting. And what would make someone so interesting to the dark beings or whatever? Okay, so 100% you could be a reptilian and not know it. So there's, oh my goodness, this is such a huge concept, and really I should put a video out there about this, but I don't know, maybe it is time, right? I put a video out there years ago about reptilians, and then I made it private. It was just my own internal back and forth, like, what is humanity ready for? Anyway, so if you were to be a reptilian and not know it, you would basically be a reptilian hybrid, which means that one of your parents would have like very high reptilian DNA, and eventually in their life, the reptilian would inhabit their body. So everyone on the planet has reptilian DNA because we've got that reptilian fight or flight mechanism. But obviously not everyone is a reptilian. When you have extremely high amounts of reptilian DNA, through your lineage and your ancestry, then it's very easy for a reptilian being to inhabit your body. So that would be considered like a possession. And that typically, like, you wouldn't be asking the question, how do I know if I'm a reptilian, if you had a reptilian fully in your body? But you may be feeling, just in general, a high amount of reptilian DNA, which means that you can get really sucked in or really triggered very easily by the fight or flight, because that's that reptilian brain, and that's fine. Typically, like, it's so weird, but I've seen a lot of comparisons between what is a reptilian parent in a way, and the main thing, usually it's the males who are a reptilian, either like a reptilian in a body taken over kind of thing, or like a full reptilian shapeshifter. Typically they're the males of the family, like the husbands. Typically the males who are these reptilian shapeshifters, they'll have many women that they've impregnated, because there's this primal need in the reptilian to literally have as many children as possible. Usually, there's just a lot of drinking, drugs, a lot of infidelity, just a lot of that kind of energy, which is interesting in these reptilians, and I've seen it time and time again. And then, like I said, I could talk about this all day, but what would make someone so interesting to these beings, right? Typically, the high elites, like the 1% who are reptilian shapeshifters, hands down 100% without a doubt, they know that they're reptilian shapeshifters, and the reason why is because they need to create a contract with the reptilians to sell their soul, to become famous, and to get money. And I know that that's maybe a conspiracy that you've heard before, but that's literally the truth. I can't express that enough. Every single celebrity, politician, news anchor, musician out there that you see, they're involved in blood and sex rituals, they're involved in the Illuminati, and they basically sell their soul to do that. So typically, you're not, okay, so there's two things. You either get really targeted by these beings if you're in a position of power, or your family is in a position of power and you have contracts to be in a position of power, obviously, because they want that power. The only other reason why they would be interested in you is if you're a very, very, very high vibrational being and you're meant to change the world in a big way, right? So people who are impacting the world in a huge way typically get targeted, and unfortunately, this is where you see these like false lights or false prophets out there who are so close to the truth, but you don't fully resonate with them. And there's something there that you're like, I get it, but what's not clicking? And typically that means that they've been targeted and they feel that they're channeling light, but there's always a skew to their messages. And typically this is a lot of the like very heavily devoted Catholic population is kind of like that. There's you get it, but it's not fully there. It's not fully resonating. And some Christians as well. And some Christians are really beautiful and really open about this stuff. But anyway, so I've been psychically attacked by reptilian beings since a kid. I mean, I remember seeing them in the mirror, in the bathroom. It was really messed up. So they basically, and then I dated a reptilian for a little while, and that's how I know so much about them, because I've just been literally connected to them in such a weird way my whole life. And And in 2014, I was ready to step into my teacherhood. And that's when that reptilian shapeshifter, really like full reptilian being shapeshifter, came into my life. And his only mission was literally to take me down before I came out as a teacher. And I came out of the spiritual closet publicly in 2016, and it was between 2014 and 2015 where I dated this guy. And I swear every aspect of my reality and every aspect of my dream reality was taken over by the reptilian beings at that time. And it was a beautiful, beautiful lesson to learn when enough